All of the Flint Bay region. NBC 25 News at 6 starts right now.
And it's gone. Nothing's there. Everything's burned up.
Those who live in this apartment building are getting their first look inside after a fire forced them all out onto the street last night. Just about 24 hours ago, black smoke was pouring out of the Green Hill Apartments on East Lawn Avenue in Midland.
Tonight, the man who lives inside the unit where the fire started had a chance to see the damage inside. NBC 25's Stephanie Parkinson has been covering the story for us in Midland today. Stephanie, how is he and everyone else doing?
Well, the good news is everyone made it out safely at the Green Hill Senior Apartments. They did go out in quite a panic, though, when the fire alarms went off last night. This afternoon, they had the chance to go back in and collect their belongings if they wanted to. That included Gil Hansen. His unit is right on the corner. That's where it's believed this fire started. For him, though, there was nothing he could salvage from the place he's called home for the last 13 years.
When you walk into the hall, it's destroyed all the way down the hall. My apartment is just totally gone. Walls are gone, ceiling's gone. It's just a friggin' mess. But here I am, I'm gonna live through it.
Folks were able to gather their belongings and said there was little to no damage inside their units. For Gil, though, he had one thing he was hoping to salvage, but came out empty-handed.
My wife died in '04, and I saved one of her shoes. And inside of her shoe, there was a little doll that said the Lord's Prayer. And I would kiss that every night and say the Lord's Prayer with her. And that's the most valuable thing up there. And it's gone. Nothing's there. Everything's burned up.
As Gil comes to grips with the fact that he lost everything, he can't help but blame himself. He says he left a candle burning inside his apartment for about 45 minutes, came back, and saw smoke.
If it was just my apartment, I'd be fine with it. But I'm affecting everybody. Sorry's not enough. It's just not enough. That's the best word I can come up with. I'm sorry.
It's a difficult time for Gil and everyone who lives in this apartment complex. There is a shelter open across the street at Midland High School. Right now, though, we're not sure when people will be able to get back inside. The fire marshal is still assessing the damage to figure that out for everyone. And as far as the cause, we don't exactly know what caused it yet. The fire officials are still investigating that, even though Gil believes it was caused by his unattended candle. In Midland, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC 25 News.
A close call at Clare High School this morning. A small fire started in the wrestling room in the upper gymnasium area. School officials believe it was caused by a mechanical failure of an industrial fan. The area has some smoke damage. No one was in the school at the time. They also say this will not delay the start of school. For news updates at your fingertips, all you have to do is download the NBC 25 News app. Stay connected while you are on the go.
And taking a live look from our Mount Pleasant Skynet camera. Here's a view from outside. Enjoy it while it lasts, as there are some changes coming our way. Chief Meteorologist Jamie Cagle joins us with your storm ready forecast to explain what's ahead. Jamie?
Well, yes, we do have changes on the way. In fact, when we take a look at the storm ready Doppler radar, you'll see to the northwest we have some showers and thunderstorms in the very northeast corner of Wisconsin. There's been some strong weather across the UP, but it has been very quiet around here in the lower peninsula. It'll stay that way a little bit longer. Some rain coming across Lake Michigan and not expected to really have much of an impact on us for today. Tomorrow, that's a different story. Temperatures right now running through the 80s, anywhere from a low 80 in Eau Gray, 81 degrees, 86 in Flint, 84 for Saginaw, 85 in Midland and Bay City right now. As far as the dew points are concerned, still rather enjoyable outside. Some low dew points at this hour and holding on to some relatively comfortable conditions right now. We do have a temperature drop in the 7-day forecast, but in the meantime, it is going to be another beautiful evening across mid-Michigan with mostly clear skies and temperatures cooling through the 70s and ending up into the lower half of the 60s for tonight. Now, clouds will be on the increase for tomorrow morning. We'll talk about rain chances in that 7-day forecast and a look at the temperatures as we approach the weekend.
Government is committing $3 million to the city of Flint as the city and its residents continue to deal with the Flint water crisis. How will the money be used? Bill Harris joins us in the studio with the answer. Bill?
Sadie, the $3 million is actually just a first installment. When all is said and done, after 4 years, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services will have awarded more than $14 million to Michigan State University, which will partner with the city of Flint and other organizations in the community to implement the program. Now, when making the announcement today, HHS Secretary Tom Price said the funding will support the affected or at-risk residents of the city of Flint who have been exposed to lead-contaminated drinking water. And that support will come in the form of a registry.
This registry will allow people to be counted, will allow them to be identified.
Dr. Mona Hanna-Attisha, who's been at the forefront of the Flint water crisis, says the information collected by this registry will be used to guide resident health decisions, both in the short term and the long term.
So this is a way for us to identify what's going on in the community, to measure it, to treat it, to get people connected to the health care, the mental health care, the education services, the nutrition services, the support services, everything that we know that science tells us will limit the impact of this water crisis.
The sign-up process is expected to begin sometime next year. Residents will have the option of voluntarily registering online, in person, or on the phone. In the studio, Bill Harris, NBC 25 News.
The Environmental Protection Agency has announced that the forgiveness of $20.7 million in water debt owed by the city of Flint will happen. Now, the agency says it has agreed with the state of Michigan's plan to forgive the city's debt owed to the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. Now, taking this step is in line with the May 2017 Consolidated Appropriations Act signed by President Trump. It will help Flint, the state, and EPA continue working together to protect public health and improve the city's water system.
2 people are in custody and a 2-year-old girl is safe after police say she was forcefully taken from her aunt's home in a Detroit neighborhood. The child was allegedly abducted at knife point around 2:30 this morning. An Amber Alert was immediately issued for the boyfriend of the child's mother. The suspect was taken into custody following a high-speed chase.
New information on the man who was found dead in the Saginaw River Sunday. Bay City Department of Public Safety identified the victim as Robert Stover. They say the 51-year-old drowned in the river. Stover had been staying at various locations in Bay City, but his last known address was in Alma. His body was found in the river near Winona Park Sunday morning. This morning, there was activity in a Genesee County funeral home that has been shut down last month. Investigators with the State Attorney General's office were going in and out of the Swanson Funeral Home on Martin Luther King Avenue in Flint. And they would not comment about exactly what they were doing there. The facility was shut down and its license suspended after inspectors found unsanitary conditions and numerous violations. We have breaking news out of the Genesee County at this hour.
And you're taking a live look at North Saginaw Street and East Cass Avenue in Genesee Township, where we're hearing an MTA bus has apparently hit a pedestrian. The accident happened just before 6 p.m.
Police, fire, and emergency crews are on scene. Witnesses tell NBC 25 the man appeared to be flagging down the bus when he was hit. Now, according to witnesses, the man was alert and is receiving medical attention. We have a crew on the scene and we'll bring you the latest of this developing story as soon as it becomes available.
After going a year without a contract, Midland firefighters are getting a 2% raise. Members of the Midland Professional Firefighters Local 1315 will receive the wage adjustment for 2016, 2017, and 2018. The 3-year contract is retroactive to July 2016. The agreement also includes changes to the city pension plan.
Thousands of people are coming together with local law enforcement to make communities and neighborhoods a safer place to live across the nation. Some of those events happening in cities across mid-Michigan like Grand Blanc, Saginaw Township, and Flint Township. NBC 25's Drew Moore joins us live from the National Night Out event in Bay City. Drew, what is all of this about?
Well, Sadie, this is really what it's all about. The community, neighbors getting together along with law enforcement to start building relationships so everyone's working together to make sure communities are safer, and it takes teamwork to do that. Now, joining me right now is Chief Cicchini with the Bay City Public Safety. Chief, how important is an outing like this to keep the neighborhood safe?
Well, it's very important. It's about community involvement, neighbors getting to know neighbors, community members interacting with each other. And then, you know, as we discussed earlier, it's about people getting to interact with law enforcement and public safety in general in a non-enforcement way, you know, in a way that humanizes us.
Right.
Because at times, you know, we have to enforce the law and there's some unpleasant duties with that. But here everyone's having a good time getting to know the police officers, the firefighters. We even have the electric department out here, and they're getting to know the people that serve their community. So that's important.
Now, what else is happening out here? I've seen some free food. I've seen some kids playing with the fire hoses. I know you were taste testing some of the local restaurants here in Bay City. What else can people expect when they come out?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of booths from different organizations. Bridge the Gap is here. The U.S. Army is here. Meyer's here serving hot dogs. We have several restaurants serving food that people can try and get an idea of what their food is like. And it's just a lot of great activities here. We got a bounce house. We got a basketball court going, so it's kind of neat. You know, it's a multitude of things going on here.
Right.
A lot of people are here.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, Chief. And as you can see, Jamie Cagle is right. It's an absolute beautiful evening out here tonight. This is going to go on until 8 o'clock here at Uptown by the River's Edge here in Bay City until 8. Come out, get some free food. Meet your local law enforcement, both the police and the sheriffs and state police. They're all here waiting to say hi to you. But for right now, reporting live in Bay City, Drew Moore, NBC 25 News.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. They had me at free food.
They always
Yes.
get us at free food. We love it. Well, also happening right now, the kickoff of the Saginaw County Fair.
Today was Military Day. Veterans and active military get in free with their military ID. The rest of the week includes Grandparents' Day, Toddler Day, Agriculture Day, and Kids Day.
Day for everyone. Well, each night has a different event in the grandstands at 7, like donkey races this evening and fireworks at 10.
Donkey races sound fun to me. Well, for the ride enthusiasts, Big Rock Amusement Midway is open from 1 to close every day. And we want to know, what is your favorite part of the county fair? Rides, food, animals, games, or entertainment? Head to our website, NBC25news.com, to answer.
The U.S. Secretary of Education was in Michigan today.
Coming up on NBC 25 News at 6, we will tell you what she was doing at the Education Institute in Grand Rapids next.
Beautiful weather across the lower peninsula, but rain is on the way. We're going to time it out in your storm ready weather forecast and take a look at the upcoming weekend as well.
You're watching NBC 25 News at 6 with Dave Bondi, Sadie Hughes, and Chief Meteorologist Jamie Cagle.
Welcome back. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos was in West Michigan today. The Michigan native was talking to teachers and students about the STEM program.
Our political reporter Nick Minock followed DeVos to each of her stops. He joins us now in Grand Rapids.
Today's lesson plan isn't just about bugs and slimy creatures, it's also a lesson about politics.
Yeah, are you learning a lot? Seems like it.
U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos spoke with young students in Grand Rapids who are learning about science.
What's the difference between a centipede and a millipede?
Shortly after learning about their scientific discoveries, it was time to talk about political science.
Well, President Trump asked me to be the Secretary of Education.
But not everyone in Grand Rapids is a fan of DeVos so far.
Because I don't think she's really shown up to class.
Jeff Larson and his fellow educators protested DeVos's policies and her visit outside of GRCC.
The fact that we have a Secretary of Education who has no interest really in public schools as they are. She claims that they don't work. She refers to them as government-run schools, which they are not.
Despite concerns from Michigan public schools about school choice and per pupil funding, DeVos is still promoting those policies around the country.
All of our work is done with that focus in mind, that students represent our future and we want to do the right thing for and on behalf of students.
Nick Minock, NBC 25 News.
Now, your certified NBC 25 Storm Ready forecast.
Well, good evening, Mid-Michigan, and a beautiful evening it will be. We are keeping an eye on the forecast as rain is expected to move in for tomorrow. As we take a look through our Skynet camera at Frankfort, and we're looking up in the northwest part of the state, Lake Michigan territory. Beautiful blue skies right now. Current temperature of 79 degrees under those sunny skies. However, showers and even some thunderstorms on the way. As you take a look to the northwest side of the state right there, they're going to have the clouds coming in, some showers later on this evening. We may see some overnight showers getting into our northern counties. Probably very light showers at best. It's tomorrow where we have a better chance when finally a cold front that is still back to the west and northwest of us comes through and forces the showers and thunderstorms through the area. Looks like that front is going to stall somewhere across the lower peninsula for Thursday. An area low pressure will ride along that front. It's going to stir up the atmosphere. It's going to keep the showers going, even a few thunderstorms possible on Thursday. And then finally, everything exits to the east on Friday, and that's when we'll actually be behind the front and get the full effect of the dropping temperatures and dropping humidity. But in the meantime, the showers and thunderstorms to the northwest are expected to weaken as they come across Lake Michigan and come ashore in the lower peninsula. You'll see again, not a tremendous chance of rain into the overnight hours, but once we get to about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to find some isolated rain across our central and northern counties, primarily our northern counties, but dipping down into Clare or Isabella County, that is certainly a possibility. Finally, into the afternoon, here comes the front, and it's going to set up that line of rainfall, some embedded thunderstorms coming through, get to about 4 o'clock, rolling into those central counties, dropping into the thumb in our southern counties, 5, 6 o'clock into the later part of the afternoon, early evening hours. After that, everything is expected to wind down. As far as rainfall totals, what you just saw in the Futurecast there, a couple of pockets of significant rainfall may be possible. Maybe not necessarily in those precise locations, but we can expect some pretty good downpours, at least a few good downpours elsewhere. The rainfall just does not look that all that impressive, but for tonight it is going to be a beautiful evening with temperatures falling through the 70s under clear skies. Saginaw County Fair, as we mentioned, starts today. For tomorrow, going to get into those low 80s, but it is into the afternoon hours, especially mid to late afternoon, 3 to about 5, maybe 6 o'clock. You stand the best chance for dealing with the rain. And when you take a look at the MoCast for tomorrow, into the morning hours, relatively easy to dodge the rain, and even into the later part of the evening as well. Just into the heart of the afternoon. That'll be the tough time to avoid the scattered showers and possible thunderstorms. The comfort index, as we get into the weekend, the humidity will drop off behind that cold front. As I mentioned, Friday, we start to feel the effects there with some light showers. Mid-70s on the way, and the overnight lows dropping off. The weekend, not too bad. Mainly dry on your Saturday and your Sunday. A few light showers will be possible. That's a look at your storm-ready weather forecast.
We want you to share your photos and videos with our Burst Gallery. Here's a beautiful picture from Matt Cox of the sunset at Whitefish Point.
Makes you want to be out on the beach. Share your photos and videos with NBC 25. Download our news app and click on See It, Send It.
Are you looking for a quick visit to a doctor?
A local superstore gives you a new option. We take you to Saginaw Township, where you will now be able to see a doctor and shop for groceries at the same time. Saginaw Township can now help with health care needs through the new Covenant Fast Care. Fast Care is convenient walk-in health care staffed by Covenant nurse practitioners and a medical assistant. Anyone can drop in and get help for one flat rate, even if you're not a Covenant patient. Walk-in treatment is for non-life-threatening conditions. Fast Care accepts most insurances and office visit copays apply. Covenant Fast Care at Meyer is located on Tittabawassee Road. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, and weekends 9 to 6.
A food pharmacy has officially opened its doors at Hurley to help address food insecurity. The food pharmacy is designed to provide healthy food to the community and provide residents with specific community resources to assist them long term. The referral to the food pharmacy will provide a patient 2 days worth of healthy food for themselves and their household members. It can be used twice monthly for 3 months.
I think it's awesome. I really do. To eat healthy is expensive. I have been having health issues, so I haven't been working, and it's been hard. I mean, you can go to a food pantry and they give you food, yes, but it's, you know, instant mashed potatoes, that kind of, you don't get any fresh fruit and vegetables.
The food pharmacy will be open 3 days a week, Wednesday through Thursday to start. No appointment is needed, but the patient must have been referred by their healthcare provider. We'll be right back. We're talking on Facebook Live. Everyone wants something. Someone wants cold weather, warm weather, you know.
We have some rain on the way for tomorrow. Cool down as we get to Friday and into the weekend.
Thanks for joining us.
North Korea's swashbuckling militarism is causing headaches for its closest ally, China. China literally feeds and powers North Korea. It supplies most of North Korea's food and energy. China accounts for almost 90% of North Korea's total trade. It holds commanding leverage over North Korea. That is why North Korea's recent missile test successes and other military advances pose danger to China's relationships around the world, including, vitally, with the United States. On the other hand, China does not want the North Korean regime to fall and the country to become a failed state. If that were to occur, China fears that millions of North Koreans would flood into China looking for food and shelter. President Trump and his administration recognize how key China could be to stopping North Korea. The administration has repeatedly called on President Xi to act on that authority. Last month, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin announced a round of secondary sanctions against the Chinese bank, Chinese shipping company, and 2 Chinese individuals for their financial ties to North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile program.
We will follow the money and cut off the money.
President Trump indicated in a tweet that he would be in favor of restricting trade with China if it didn't do more in handling North Korea. The bottom line is this: China is the dominant regional power in Asia. North Korea has been a client state, little brother of China's, for decades. It is China's responsibility to control Kim Jong-un's erratic tendencies and ambitions. The United States has to use every leverage possible, economic and otherwise, to push China towards slamming the door shut on North Korea's growing aggression.